Hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me once you join. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me.
Get the QuickBooks mobile app.
Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me once you join. Once you join, let me know you can hear me and you can see me. Just let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Once you join, let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Once you join, let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me once you join. All right, who is excited to be here today? It looked like today will never come, but it is eventually here. And a super congratulations to everybody. Like today is our graduation party. And if you have not heard this from anybody, I am proud of you. Like I am super, 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 super proud of you. Let me see in the comment section. I am proud of myself. Put it in the comment section. I am proud of myself. Like put your name and I am proud of myself in front of it. I am super, super, super proud of you. Congratulations on completing your training. I know how hard this was for some people. I know how it felt like you not wanting to show up on some days. But today you're here and you're completing like a very big milestone. So I would start off by again saying I'm super proud of you. Congratulations on completing this milestone. There is no better time to have trained yourself. There is no better time to have trained yourself than now. And there is no better time to push yourself than now after you have trained yourself. I'm going to repeat that again. There is no better time to have trained yourself than now. And there is no better time to push yourself than now after your training. Remember, it's one thing to take a training. It's another thing to push yourself out of your comfort zone even after the training. We all go to school, right? But what stands out from the person who gets a job and from the person who doesn't get a job is that even after graduation, you don't sit in one corner of your house and say that manna will fall from heaven. You take a step, you move out of your comfort zone, and you get started. So, once again, there is no better time to have trained yourself than now, and there is no better time to push yourself after your training than now. Now, one of the things I do on this last day of this training is I talk about relationship with money. I think this is one of the first key things that we started with in this training. So I also like to restate it. Towards this end of this training, we're going to talk about your relationship or our relationship with money. Now, how does your current relationship with money reflect your childhood experience or family attitude towards finance? Most of us, your current relationship with money, if you look at yourself carefully, reflect your childhood experience, reflect either how you felt money was difficult growing up, or when you try to ask your parent for things, they tell you how difficult it is to make money. You grow up and subconsciously, this attitude becomes a part of you. Now, even your family, your parents' attitude towards money is reflected in your life without you knowing. Now, if you're not careful, some of these attitudes that we have picked subconsciously inside of us, we continue to become a lifestyle for us and we grow into it and even end up passing it to our children. When they ask you about money, today, no money, tomorrow, no money. So what is your relationship with money? Now, what's one financial habit? This is a question I would need you to answer in the comment section. What is one financial habit you're proud of? And one financial habit that you dislike and would like to change? Let me know in the comment section. What is one financial habit that you're proud of? And one financial habit that you would like to change? Because whether you like it or not, even for myself, there are financial habits that I'm proud of. Like, I love the fact that I always save. I love the fact that I save like as if my life depends on saving. And it might shock you to also know that there are financial habits that I'm not proud of. So when I ask you what is one financial habit that you're proud of, and you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it because maybe everybody's going to say, oh, they love their finances, they love their financial habit. I love to save. However, I have an issue with impulse buying. I shop when I'm emotionally stressed. Like when I'm emotionally stressed, I start shopping. There was a time in my previous apartment last year, every single week, Amazon was delivering things to my house. Every single week, Amazon was delivering things to my house. It became a lifestyle that my friends would be like, once there is any delivery, they would say, Chinyere, you have a delivery. Chinyere, you have a package. It became a lifestyle that led me into debt. Now, that is one attitude I am not proud of. I impulse buy, I impulse shop. I'm going to tell you how I was able to work around this. So even if you save a lot and you have like, just like me, I save a lot, but I also have a financial attitude that I would love to change. And that was me emotionally buying or impulse shopping. Like once I'm stressed, I begin to buy. Once I'm stressed, I begin to buy. If I love to cook, tomorrow I have bought everything that has to do with cooking. One of my friends looked at me one day and she was like, once Chinyere invests her mind into anything you ask her to buy about that thing, she will buy it. And that's a bad attitude to have. It's good in some extent, but it's bad to my finances, right? But that's that on that. So I want you to put the financial habits that you're proud of and one that you would like to change, because you need to hold yourself accountable. Sometimes when I ask you to comment this, when I ask you to comment that, when I ask you to write this or write this, this is me also holding you accountable, so that tomorrow you look back and you're like, I remember I told coach I love to do this. Then I want to stop this. When you want to do it, you remember what you have told coach, you would hold yourself accountable. Or you remember who you have told that, you hold yourself accountable. So what is one financial habit you are proud of and one that you would like to change? I need you to hold yourself accountable today. Now, as we delve into this journey, I want you like into your journey of your virtual assistant, your journey of remote work that proceeds from here. I need you to remember that money is a tool that you are supposed to master, not a master that you're supposed to be afraid of. Many of us see money as a master that we are afraid of, instead of a tool that we're supposed to master how to use. It is one thing to master how to use something. It is another thing to see something as a master that you are afraid of. There are two things. This thing is a tool that I want to master how to use. And this thing is a master that I'm afraid to use. That is how so many of us see money. You see money as a master that you're afraid of, instead of a tool that you're supposed to use. Now, your relationship with money, whether you like it or not, whether you hear it from me or you hear it from somebody else, is what would help you foster financial well-being and freedom. For you to invariably say that, I think I have financially freedom, it is your relationship with money that would determine that. Now, we're going to be looking at financial management. Then subsequently, I would share different types of issues you encounter and how you can manage them. Now, disclaimer, I am not an investor. I'm only sharing and walking you through this financial management from a form of something. This is something that have worked for me. This is something I am still learning, and this is something I'm willing to share with you so that you learn with me in the process, so that you don't you're not at the back, you're also learning and you're managing your finances very well. Now, what is budgeting? You know that process of you creating a plan before you spend your money. That is budgeting. For every time you have money, you're mapping out how you want to spend that money. That is you budgeting your money. Now, this would also allow you to determine in advance whether you have saved enough money to do a certain thing or you would like to save more to achieve your goal. So without budgeting, invariably, you would not be able to know if you have enough to do what you want to do or if you have less to do what you want to do. So you need to learn how to budget every single penny that enters into your hand. The mistake most of us make at this stage of entering into the industry is you see it as, oh, this is my enjoyment stage. You're not saving. In every dry season, there is always a raining season. No matter how hot many African country is at one certain time, they would always experience a raining season. And so is also peculiar in our life. No matter how you feel, this period, I have a stream of finance. If you don't budget, if you don't plan how you spend your money, you would also run into a dry season. Now, you don't want to get to your dry season and figure out that you should have started saving early. That would not be good for you. Now, so it's important that you budget. Now, what is the benefit of you budgeting? Like, oh, you're budgeting your money. What is like some benefit that you get from it? It prevents you from overspending. You know those impulsive buying, like you buy things that you don't need or you buy things because others are buying it. When you budget, it helps you to stay on track. Yeah, it's another thing budgeting does for you. It ensures that your spending aligns with your financial goals. Another thing most of us don't set at the early stage of our career is that we don't set financial goals. Ever since I started this journey, I have a financial goal every year. So whether I meet it or not is not the question. The question is, I have a goal of what I want to save. Even if I set a goal of 50K and I'm able to save 20,000, it is still good. Imagine I don't have a goal, and at the end of the year, everything I made, I spent everything. No savings, no nothing. Another thing budgeting does for you, it ensures your saving. Because you are allocating different amounts to different things, it would ensure that you know how much you have remaining, and how much you're able to accumulate over time. Now, what I'm telling you is, for every single time my salary comes in, I make a list of how that money is spending. Of course, I'm going to pay for house. Of course, I'm going to pay my student fees. I'm going to pay for my car insurance. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to save this amount. Even if it's $20, I must save from my salary. Because the truth is, there would always be things to spend on. So no matter how tight or how not enough my salary is at the end of every month, I must save something, because accumulative of that money that I save over a year is something substantial. So accumulative of that 50 naira that you're saving every month is something every year. Imagine if you did not save it at all, and at the end of the year, you have nothing to fall back to. Now, another benefit of budgeting is it helps you in achieving your financial goal. So as you graduate today, I'm asking you to write a financial goal in the hope that you're going to get a job, of course. How much do you want to save? Whether the world is falling today or tomorrow, you see that my savings, it is budgeted for something. Somebody once told me that is your savings that will save you on your own raining day. So imagine you have no savings. What will save you? Just think for a moment that you're in a financial crisis and you don't have any savings. That is because all the money you've earned, you have spent it on looking nice, looking good. Nobody is against looking nice and looking good, right? But I once told my students that if your head, you see this my hair that I barb, if this my hair or my head cannot make 1 million every month, I'm sorry, I can't be wearing a wig of 500,000. Like nobody is sitting on top of your brain. Like this head cannot make you 1 million. And in your wardrobe, you have wigs that are up to 2 million. Are you thinking at all? Like this head can literally not make you 500K every month or even in 3 months. And you have lineups of wigs that are worth millions. Now, I'm not saying buying things for yourself is very expensive. The first time, I think last year, was the time I spent money buying wig for myself. Why? I looked at my earning for the year and I'm like, I told myself, I am proud of what you have done this year. You deserve this as your gift to yourself. So I need us to sit down in this journey. It is beautiful to want to take care of yourself, but they say wisdom is profitable to direct. So budgeting will help you to save so that you can be saved on your raining day. Now, what are some of the steps that you can take? Because I'm not just going to tell you what budgeting can do for you and not give you steps you can take to create a budget. List all the sources of your income. Make a list of it. The ones coming from your husband, the ones coming from your friends, the ones coming from your parents, the ones coming from your work, your ajo, everything. Make a list of all the sources of your income. And one day, I think I was saying this, all sources of income, and somebody say, money from boyfriend is not a source of income. If money from your boyfriend is not a source of income, then what is a source of income? Any money that is coming into your hand, whether it is coming from your father, your mother, your husband, your boyfriend, as the case may be, wherever the money is coming from, you're working for it, is a source of income. Write it down. Then categorize all your expenses. We're still going to talk about need and wants. So if you want to share this training with anybody, I feel like the biggest thing I want to believe that you're gaining value from what I'm saying. I'm even making sense to you. You're free to share you and ask somebody to join if you feel like I'm making sense or you want somebody to enjoy from this. Tell they do not want to miss. Now, track and categorize all your expenses. When I say track, the same way you have listed all your source of income, list every expenses that you know, everything that you know you spend on every single month. And I started to take this more seriously this year. Every month I make a list of how much that comes in. I make a list of how much that goes out, so that at the end of the year, I can look at myself and tell myself, did I do more expenses and had less saving? That way you can know how to do better in the coming months. So for every single time I pay out anything, I'm writing it down. Like I paid so amount to so person, I'm writing it down. Every single month, I write out all the money that came in. I write out all the money that goes out. Now, set spending limits for each category. Now, you know all these things that you have written down, each of them needs to have a limit. My hair, $50, it no pass. Once it is above $50, until your source of income increase and can make you spend like $100 on making your head, that budget will remain on $50. So you need to work on that $50 budget. Now, next thing, if you're the type that loves to buy clothes every month, put spending budgets. I will not spend more than, for instance, 30,000. If you're the type that loves to buy shoe every month, spending budgets. Every single thing that you have listed in this your expenses category, put a budget to it. With a budget, you will be able to curtail yourself. So if this shoe right now, you want to buy this shoe, and they are telling you that this shoe is 50,000, You have to look for the one that is in your budget. That budget that you have written down is not compromisable. And again, it falls down to holding yourself accountable. Now, review and adjust monthly. As your budget becomes better, or as your income increases or becomes better, you can adjust this. If you feel like there is some that is taking more or less, you can set and adjust it every month. Now, some budgeting apps that you can use, that you can use a spreadsheet to like track your expenses every month. What I do, I'm a jotter person. Like, I'm somebody that loves to write. I write a lot. So I'm not tracking my own with any apps. I'm not tracking my own with spreadsheet or Word document. I track it on my journal. Like, I have a journal that I bought this year specifically to write other things, but also to track my spending and my expenses every month inside this journal, and to also track, what I'm saving. So at the end of the year, when I bring it out, I don't need to print statement of account, because everything I've spent, everything I've done, I've already written it down monthly. Now, saving and investing, if you're in Nigeria, you can consider using Piggyverse. Now, if you're going to use Piggyverse, you can save on a short term or on a long term. If you're saving on a short term, is you just saving, maybe like Piggyverse have things like maybe house rent, vacation, they have like Flex Bank. Piggyverse is not sponsoring me. They are not paying me for what I'm saying, but I'm just saying this so that you know. So I use Piggyverse a lot. I saw something on Twitter the other day that girl maths is you saving 1 million on Piggyverse and taking the interest to go and buy wig. But I'm sorry to tell you that is a stupid gear math. If you save 1 million on Piggyverse, let's do the analysis. Piggyverse will give you back your interest immediately. If you spend your interest immediately, it means that it's just your capital that is with Piggyverse. You have not made anything, because whatever you made is what you are spending. Now, what I do, and that is what my mentor taught me, and I feel like I utilize it because the Igbo girl in me loves to make money. And I'm going to teach you that mathematics right now. If you've been saving on Piggyverse and you've not been doing this, you've been doing it wrong. So if you go to Piggyverse and you lock your money, for instance, you want to save your money for like 1 year, Piggyverse will give you 22 or 23% of that money that you have saved. Let's assume you save 1 million. Piggyverse gives you back 200,000. Receive back that 200,000 with the same. So if I save 1 million for January of 2026, Piggyverse gives me maybe 200,000. I will save back that 200,000 for January 1st, 2026, meaning that right now I have 1.2 million that is saved. Now, when I save that 200,000 again, Piggyverse will still give me interest in that 200,000. I save it back again. I save back that interest. I will keep saving back my interest until it has gotten to like maybe 20,000 remaining, or 5. Even if it remains 20,000, I save it back. Then maybe when it's now remaining like 5,000, I just leave it and I can now use that 5,000. Now, sit down and calculate that. Imagine I save 200,000. I lock back remember that we locked back 1 million. They gave us 200,000. We locked back 200,000. Maybe they gave us 100,000. We locked back the 100,000. They gave us 50,000. This is an instance we are doing. 200, 150. That is how much? 350,000. That's why I said the mathematics of they give you interest and you take it immediately is a stupid mathematics. Now, at the end of the day, we have relocked back our interest 4 times. And invariably, we have gotten ×2 of that original interest. And I will allow it. Now, whenever that my 1 million is coming, because I saved the release date to be the same date, let me know if you understand what I'm saying. If you're following me and you understand what I'm saying, let me know in the comment section. Now, by the time that 1 million and those interest is coming back on the same day, I might be having like around 1.4 million. This is me who should have walked away with 200,000 as interest, but I have 1.4 million interest. Do you see the logic there? So I would not walk away with just that 200,000 and go and buy wig. So I will wait and keep relocking back that my interest until it's remaining 5,000 or even 1,000 in short. And know that in my mind, it was 1 million I invested. But whenever this my 1 million is coming back, I'm getting back 400,000. Now, if I took out that first interest they gave me, it's my 1 million that is just there and lying. It did not make any big capital for me. So now imagine you have like 4 million and you want to save it for 1 year. Or you have like 10 million and you want to save it for 1 year. And interest of this 10 million right now is like 3 million. And you lock back that 3 million. They give you like maybe 1 million. You lock back that 1 million. They give you 500,000. You lock back that 500,000. They give you back 200,000 and you do all of this. Can you see clearly? Like, even if there is cobwebs on your eyes, can you see the power of that accumulative relocking of your interests? Okay, I see somebody that says, I understand because I'm engaging in the same thing. Awesome. So I love PiggyVest a lot. I use it for both short term and long term. So if you're doing savings on PiggyVest and you do it like strategically the way I've just showed you right now, you will make more at the end of the month. Then OPay is another one. I know OPay pays you like OPay pays you like interest every day, but OPay's interest is not as big as PiggyVest. I use OPay, but once there is like the money has accumulated, I move it to my PiggyVest because PiggyVest interest is more. Now, to some people, PiggyVest is not even giving enough interest. But I've listened to PiggyVest and they said that they are not giving so much interest because they are not using people's money to play gamble or to take risks. So I love it and I'm okay with whatsoever interest that they are giving. Now, if you're outside Nigeria, even if you're in Nigeria, I know there is an app that is called Bamboo. You can use it to buy stocks from companies. But before you go ahead to buy stocks, consult your bank, consult your financial advisors. Also, you can save in USDT in PiggyVest. I have tried it, but I wouldn't advise you. I wouldn't advise you to invest your Naira in USDT if you're in Nigeria. If you're not earning in dollar, I wouldn't advise you to convert your Naira to dollar. I tried it. Anything I tell you not to do that I wouldn't advise you to do is because I tried it. I bought dollar at a particular amount. When I finally need my money back, the amount I spend in buying dollar, I lost instead of gaining. So if you're going to use your Naira to buy dollar, know that it's a long-term investment. Like, it's not something you need in the next 1 year, the next 2 years. I feel like even up till now, if I'd waited for that money up till now, it would have depreciated more. Because you know that dollar rose against Naira at some point, then now it is coming down. For me to have made gain, dollar need to have gotten to 2,000. And that might not have happened. It might happen in the future. So right now, I wouldn't advise you to convert your Naira to dollar because you get a CB. So that's what. But if you're outside Nigeria, you can save up your dollars on app. Like if you're outside Nigeria and you're looking to save your dollar, send me a DM. There's an app I would share with you that you can use to like save your money and get interest. I recently discovered that app and I'm using it and it's been good. So not when I say app, like a bank app, but they pay you interest on your money. So if you need the app or the link to the app, you have my number. You can send me a DM and I would walk you through how to do that. Now, the rule of thumb is save at least 20% of your income. no matter whatever you're earning every day, whether you're earning 15 naira, whether you're earning 100 naira, whether you're earning 1 million, whether you're earning $600, save 20% of your income and use 80% to do whatsoever that you're doing. So sit down, find the 20% of your earning. That is what should go into your savings. All right. Now, I need us to understand the difference between our need and our want, because I feel like this is where most persons get the mix up. And if you don't understand your need and your want, you would always have issues. I remember I shared a story with you when I'm always buying something there is a difference between your need and there is a difference between your want. If you don't find balance between the two of them, and you need to holistically ask yourself, is this a need or a want? You would always find yourself on that same spot of being broke. Even myself and my friends right now, we hold ourselves accountable. When we go out and we want to buy something, we will usually ask. So if my friend brings something to me and she's like, Chinyere, this thing is fine, should I buy it? One question I will ask her is this a need or a want? Now, take for instance, we've been in a cold season, right? Or let's say we are in a hot weather or we're in a raining season whatsoever, and we all go shopping to buy things. And maybe I'm picking up a sweater because I just love the color. I have like maybe 10 sweaters at home. I need to ask myself, and I need to ask myself and say, is this a need or a want? It's a want because it's beautiful. It's not a need. I have a lot at home. So I'm buying it at that moment because it's just, oh, this thing looks beautiful, I want to have one. It's not a need. It's just a want. But I will explain that further. Now, how do you differentiate between what you need and what you want when it comes to spending? Now, the difference between your need and your wants, you know those things that are essential, like they are basic for your survival or helps you to like function in society, like things like food. Food is a need. Over of everything is not good. So when I say food, it's not it to the point where you're falling on the road or you're throwing it away. Now, food is a basic need. You need food to survive. Shelter over your head, like paying your house rent, is a need. Clothing yourself is a need. But when you have clothes, I was listening to one pastor one certain time and he said, if there are clothes in your wardrobe that you have not worn in the last 6 months, they don't belong to you, dash it out. So when I'm telling you the same thing as you're listening to me, if you have clothes in your wardrobe that in the last 6 months you have not worn them, you need to throw it away. Why? You would never need them. They are not your need. You see any clothes that in the last 6 months you have not gone to, but they are in your wardrobe occupying space, they are as good as you not having it. Because even in the next 1 year, you might never go to where those clothes are. Let it go. Give it to orphans. Give it to homes that need clothes. Now, it might be so hard for you to hold on to it, but you don't need it. If you can comfortably live 6 months without that clothes, it's not a need to you. Unless maybe there are things like meeting clothes that you bring out once in every 3 months, or maybe meeting clothes that you bring out once in every 6 months. They are expensive clothes that you have in your house that you would never wear again after you have sold it. That's just the truth. I remember all the clothes my husband bought for me when we were getting married. Now, I only wore them once. I have never worn it after then again. They are clothes we will never go to. So there are clothes you never go to. And the truth is, when you work remotely, that's just the funnest thing. You most time repeat the same clothes. You most time show up to work in the same way. You don't even have, unless maybe you're going on vacation with your friends. And in most cases, you will buy new things. Those clothes will just be there. So things like healthcare is a need. You need to buy medicine. You need to go to the hospital when you're sick. Things like transportation. If you own a car, if you're paying mortgage on your car, on your house, and all of those things, they are need. and you need to budget to accommodate your need. Now you see your wants. Your wants are all those items or services that enhance your life quality. They are not essential for your survival. Things like buying a luxurious phone. Maybe what a Nokia Touchlight would do for me, just maybe a simple Android would do for me, is the same thing. This is a luxurious phone. I bought this phone $1,650 is a luxurious phone, right? Why did I buy a luxurious phone instead of buying an Android phone? I'm just trying for you to see, like, the mathematics there. Things like going on vacation, whether you go on vacation or not, vacation is a want, it's not a need. Things like entertainment, going for party is a want, it's not a need. Whether you do them or not, you'll be fine. You will live okay. So look at yourself. Look at your budget right now. You see that budget you have made? Carefully now divide it into two. Divide it into wants and divide it into need. Now, your wants, they are things that you can tell yourself, okay, every month, out of all of this, my wants, I will do one for myself after taking care of my need. My friend and I were having a conversation the other day, and she's like, we want to go out, like every month we want to cultivate going out, like just taking ourselves out after like working stressful for the end of the month. Now my want is, I would either buy myself a shoe or I will buy myself anything. Now I have like maybe 4 or 5 things I want to do for myself at the end of every month. Eat out, maybe go for lunch, go for manicure or pedicure, take care of my nails, maybe just have somebody do it for me, go for shopping and all of that. Now I told her we can only do one every month. I can't go for shopping. I can't go for manicure and pedicure. I can't go for brunch. Every month we pick one that we're going to do. It's either that $20 or $30 that we are portioning to go and eat out. We use it to go random window shopping and buy something under that budget. Or we use it to do what again? Or we use it to go and eat out. So if I eat out this month, I'm not going to buy anything because I spent that my personal budget on eating out. If I go for manicure and pedicure this month, I will not eat out. I have to choose and do one, right? That is me making a list of my wants and choosing one I need to do out of it. Because even if I don't do all, I'm not going to die. But my needs, I need to take care of them. My needs are like, I need to pay my house rent. I need to pay my hospital bills if I need to go to the hospital. All of those things I need. They can't wait. But your wants can wait. All right. All right. So we're going to be looking at 3 types of spending and how you can control and manage it. There are 3 types of spending, and I'm going to be walking you through how you can control and manage it. The first one is emotional spending. Remember, I told you that in as much as my good trait or one of the things I love financially is that I can save, I have an issue with emotional spending. And for this occurs when emotional spending occurs when you're buying things whenever you're stressed, like whenever you're going through a moment, you're going through your own life struggles and all of that, and you're going to buy things. So most of us suffer from this. You might not know it's emotional spending or that's what you're going through. But you see those moments whenever you're sad, or maybe somebody breaks your heart, or somebody offends you, or you get angry, or you get uncomfortable, or you get stressed, anything that triggers you emotionally. And the next moment you look for your phone, you have landed on a shopping site and you have started buying. That is emotional spending. And this usually occurs, and the truth is that most persons suffer from this, whether you know what it is called or not. Now, for you to be able to fight emotional spending like what I did, I feel like what I did invariably was I deleted all the shopping apps on my phone. That was the first thing I did. I deleted Shein, I deleted Temu, I deleted Amazon, all the shopping apps on my phone. No, before I deleted, it's easy for you to go to a shopping app that has your credit card and just purchase. So the first thing when I noticed that I was suffering from buying things whenever I'm stressed and all of that, after like doing this for like almost 9 months, my friends were complaining, Chinyere, what's up? You're always buying. I'm like, I'm buying it because I need it. And at the end of the day, I don't need it. But that moment in my head, I'm buying it because I need it. So what I did first to help myself was, when I discovered truly that I have a problem, and I need, as much as I save, I also have a problem with spending. What I did was, before I deleted the apps, I went to deactivate all of my credit cards from those apps. As I deactivated all of my credit card, I deleted the apps. Now, by then, I didn't have a budget. Every month I was just spending, I was eating my credit card. I ate myself into loan. By the time I finished paying that loan, I sat myself down and I told myself that I would never, with my 2 eyes, walk myself into loan. Like, I literally walked myself, like, from my impulsive buying, because I was not buying from my card. I didn't have the money. I was buying from my credit card. But when my credit card started charging me interest, I need to sit down and draw down my budget and discover that even what I was earning every month can't take care of my need, not to talk about my wants. So create a budget. The easiest you can do for yourself is to have a budget. Allocate specific things to your budget every month. Like, allocate it to your budget every month. This way, it will help you to avoid overspending. Develop healthy coping mechanism. Like, you see the way I said I deactivated the app, my friends knew that something was going wrong with me. At some point, I told my friends to hold me accountable, that every single time I purchase something, they should ask me if I need it. If I don't need it and I cannot give them reason, I will return it. So develop coping mechanism. Instead of turning to shopping to manage your emotions and all of that, you can engage with talking to your friends. Ask your friends to be your accountability partners so that you don't go back. So my friends became my accountability partners. Now, unsubscribe from marketing emails. Delete your card from the app. That's another thing that I did. I removed my card from the apps so that I don't eventually find myself going back there. Then I set financial goals. So right now, I'm more big on saving than spending, right? So I have a clear goal of how much I want to make every year. Not like I didn't have that goal last year, but it wasn't so clear last year. But I feel like this year, I have more clear goals on saving, or maybe buying landed properties, or maybe more bigger things to occupy my mind with than buying things. Then another types of spending is the mindful spending. Now, this category of people, it involves you being very conscious, intentional with where your money goes to. Now, it's about, with mindful spending, you're cautious, you're intentional, and you're trying to know where your money actually goes to. You're making financial decisions that align with your personal values and long-term success. Now, take for instance the way I told you that I saved on Piggyverse and I did all of this. So I am now more mindful of my spending. I'm trying to align and make good financial decisions that would lead to my long-term goals, rather than acting on my impulse of emotionally spending or emotionally buying things. Now, if you want to cultivate mindful saving, 4 things you can do. First, set your spending intent. Define what you want to use your money for, whether you're saving it for vacation, whether you're investing it in your education, whether you're saving it to buy a house, whether you're donating it to charity. Have a clear intention around your saving. Secondly, everything would always revolve around create a budget. Budget is always very important because it will help you structure and help you limit your spending intention. Then practice gratitude, like regularly reflect on what you have already reduced, what you have cut down from, like spending on, like regularly reflect on that and appreciate yourself for the milestones that you're taking. Then learn to say no. Now, when you find yourself in that situation where you're buying what you don't need, be disciplined enough to say, I love this thing. It looks beautiful. I love this clothes. It looks beautiful, but is it a need? If the answer is no, that it's not a need, then just tell yourself, okay, drop it, you get it next time. So we do this, like myself and my friends, we do this all of the time. When we go out and we're like, okay, I want this, I'll just tell myself, Chinyo, don't worry, you get it next time. And I proceed to other things. Even the last time I went shopping with my friend, I told her that I have a budget. That budget is $50. In short, I don't even want to spend all of that budget because I go chop for the end of the inside that my $50 budget, I have to chop. So, and it made me very careful when I'm spending, what I'm spending on, and where I'm channeling my money to. Then we have delayed gratification. Now, delayed gratification is prioritizing your future finance over your immediate pleasure. Now, just tell yourself that, okay, I'm not going to buy this right now, but don't worry, I'm taking Chinyere on a vacation in December. So you're already saving towards your vacation. So even when you feel like I need to buy this for myself and you're like, okay, don't worry, I'm already taking me on a vacation in December. So don't worry, we would enjoy when we go to vacation. And I think I learned this from my friend. She said that she learned to talk to herself, like she learns to speak to her body. So if I want to get this phone for myself right now, and I know it's not a priority, I'll tell myself, okay, don't worry, Chinyere, I'll buy this phone for you. You'll get this phone in December when you can afford it. Okay, don't worry, you buy this phone when you start working, when you can afford it. So all those things that you feel like you can delay your gratification. You can tell yourself that for every 1 million that I save, I will take myself out and I will just spend 20K on taking ice cream. It's delayed. Instead of like buying ice cream every week for yourself, you can tell yourself that for every 2 million that I save, I will take myself out and buy myself a good sneakers. Like you're rewarding yourself for what you're doing for yourself. And so right now, you also be looking forward to that reward that you want to give yourself. I don't know if this makes sense. Now, strategies for delayed gratification is reward replacement. Substitute getting something for yourself right now, like something you need to do for yourself right now, for like doing it for yourself later. For instance, replace a daily purchase of maybe you usually buy Coke every day to telling yourself that, okay, once every month, I will take myself out to the eatery to enjoy. Maybe you love buying biscuits every day or every week. You can tell yourself, okay, we're not going to be buying biscuits every day right now. We are saving. At the end of the month, I will buy myself one biscuit. Or at the end of the month, I will take myself and buy myself shawarma, like reward replacement. Limit temptation. Now, you know those going to ShopRite, those places that you walk yourself to, and you'll be exposed to things you don't want to buy. Limit going there. Only go there when you know that there is something you actually want to buy. So if I know that, following my friend right now, so if my friend say, Chinyere, let's go to Ross to buy something, I know that if I go to Ross now, I'll be tempted to want to buy something. It's either I don't have money. If I don't have money, I'll go with her because I will not borrow to buy something. But if I know that I'll be tempted to buy, I will tell her that I can't go with you now. Let's go month end. I remember recently we were supposed to shop, we were supposed to go shopping, and she said, let's go. I told her, don't worry. Let's wait. When I have the money I'm expecting, we can go together. And she said, okay, no problem. So when that money I was expecting came, I chatted her, okay, let's go. I have the money right now. And we both went. Right? So don't pressure yourself to like go to a place that you know will lead you into maybe stress buying or impulsive buying. Try to like subscribe to like delete apps. You can always reinstall. The good thing with these apps is you can delete it 1 million times, you can reinstall it. But if you're reinstalling it because you're having that impulse to buy, hold yourself accountable. For every single time you need to buy something, ask yourself, do I need this thing or is it a want? If it's a want, let it be till you know that, okay, let me just get myself this want. All right, implement cooling off period. You know, when sometimes you want to buy something, you say, okay, let me think about it. And when you have think about it for 2-3 times, you will not want it again. That is also a strategy for you to use when you feel like, okay, you want to buy this dress. This dress is a need, is a want, it's not a need, right? So just tell yourself, okay, let me think about it. I'll be back in 2 days. In 2 days, maybe you still want it, but not as much as you wanted it on the first day. You can tell yourself, okay, just give me a day. Let me still think about, maybe in that day to come, you will not want it again. You would have even focused on other things or probably use that money for another thing. That is another strategy. Implement cooling off period. Whenever you want something, don't rush to go and get it immediately. Cool off, think about it, then later go and see if you still want it. Now, I hope we've been able to gain 1 or 2 from everything that I've said. My general advice to you is, and in as much as I'm still there for you and we're still part of this journey is one of continuous learning. And I think I've emphasized this over and over in your training. It is one that once you stop depreciating. Why? There are new tools that are coming out every day. There are new developments that are coming out every day. So you need to stay updated. So I will tell you, keep learning. Take certifications to better yourself. Next, effective communication. Ask question. Ask question. If you find yourself in a company you're working and you're unsure about the tax or how to provide regular updates or anything, ask question. Nobody who asks question ever goes wrong. Time management is another thing. Prioritize your time. Use tracking tools. Take regular breaks to avoid burnt out, because burnt out is actually real. Pay attention to details. Like paying close attention to details. I think we've talked about this over and over in the training. Would help you ensure that you are accurate when you're doing things and you prevent mistake. Be a proactive problem solver. Always have a solution to something. Like think of the solution of a problem before that problem ever arises. Now, be receptive to feedbacks. Have an open mind towards receiving feedback. I already told us that there are some attitudes that will not make you thrive in this industry. Attitudes that like when somebody's giving you correction, you're pissed, you're angry, you're defensive. Those attitudes will not make you go far in this industry. Again, confidentiality and security. Respect people's sensitive information. When somebody hands over a sensitive information like their login details and all of that, it is your duty to guide it. Even when you have stopped working with them, it's not a case of I have stopped working with them, I'll be logging into the account. You don't have anything. Once they say this contract has ended, let it end there. Let it end there. Network with other professionals. It is very, very important. You see, networking is one thing that I can't overemphasize. And why I said I can't overemphasize this is as important as anything. Don't be an island. Information is always in the network. Information is always in the network. Don't be a loner. Don't be a loner. You're in the group. People are commenting. People are asking questions. You're keeping it to yourself. Don't be a loner. Balance your work life. I think we emphasized on this in our last class. Balance your work life and your personal life. Balance your work life and your personal life. Be flexible. Set priorities. Be flexible. Go beyond when somebody gives you a task, go beyond what they have given you to add value. Maintain professionalism when you're interacting with people, whether you're interacting with your clients, whether you're interacting with team members or other stakeholders. And like self-care, I've already told us that mental health is very expensive, and you don't want to get to the bridge where you're in that moment where, like, I am just thinking of how people go for therapy, how much people spend on taking care of themselves when they lose their mental health. Like, in my mind, I'm just thinking about that right now. Mental health is very expensive. Like, it is very expensive. You don't want to joke with your mental health. So take care of your mental health. Now, another thing I want you to do is be willing to learn and implement. You have learned a lot in this training. And even if I say it from today to tomorrow, I would never say it enough. There's a lot you have on your hand. There is a lot you have on your archive to go back to learn from, to sit yourself down and teach yourself. All the videos are easy. I think if there is one thing that I brag about is how I am able to break complex detailed in like how I break complex details into things that are understandable. So show up and learn and implement. It's not enough to learn. It's not enough to learn. It's not enough to say that, oh, I have learned. Can you implement what you have learned? Like, can you implement what you have learned? If everything you have learned, if somebody tap you and wakes you up, can you implement them? Now, I'm also that person that will tell you that there is no supposed time for you to say that you are perfect with everything that you've learned. And that is why I say, put your foot forward. Like, put your foot forward. Apply what you have learned. Like, implement what you have learned. Somebody reached out to me, I think last week, and she's like, Coach, there's a lot you have taught. Now, some people's issue is you have taught a lot. I don't know where to start. Not even you did not teach at all. Is that you have taught a lot. I don't know where to start. I would say start from the beginning. Go back to our very first training. Don't jump to module 5. Start from the beginning. Show up for yourself. Nobody, even if after today, I'm still coming to the group, I'm telling you to apply for a job, I'm pushing you. If you're not willing to show up for yourself, nothing will happen. So the major bulk of the work, even if when you join our community, you choose to be a dormant member, nobody will show up for you. The task of showing up for yourself is dependent on you. Like, it is dependent on you. It's not dependent on another person. So you need to pick up yourself from where you are right now and run with yourself. And remember the scenario I talked about when we started this training. I said, it is one thing to go to school. It is another thing after going to school to do what? To wake up every morning, sit in your computer, or go out with your CV and apply for a job. And it's another thing not to even do anything at all. And so what is our next step from here after this training? After this training, I'm going to be sharing with you our community links. I'm going to share our Facebook community. I'm going to share our Telegram community, our WhatsApp community, so that you can join all of them. So I'm going to be sharing those WhatsApp community with you. You're still going to have like ongoing support. You're still going to have guidance as you grow into your role. We have like amazing, super amazing people who are willing to like share their success story with you. If you ask questions on the community, people are willing to answer. And you also have like your own cohort chat group where you can always chat with yourself and like ask those in your cohort for support. So there would always be ongoing support. I feel like the problem is not the support. The problem is mostly you who is getting the support. Now, we've taken time over and over in the bigger community to talk about things like how to pitch to clients, like share strategies on how to do this. And for every single time we ask, what challenge are you facing? People will still say is how to reach out to clients. There is one thing that can be done for you. Information will be shared with you. But one thing that we cannot do for you, or we cannot do is because we can't do it, is because we cannot interpret information for you. We can't give you, it's just, this adage where somebody will say, I will marry wife for you, then I'll still be the one to buy the bed for you. It doesn't make sense. Ours is to go out and look for this information. As much as we try to share job opportunity, but I won't be the one to apply for you. I won't be the one to ask you to submit your CV. I won't be the one to wake you up. During your job application marathon, I won't be the one to be chasing you around to apply for a job. It will be dependent on you eventually. So eventually, it's not a case of what you have not gotten. It's a case of what have you done with what you have received. So all the knowledge you have received in this training, what will you do with it, or what are you doing with it? This same training is what people have taken out and they have landed jobs. When I say jobs, not one, not two, and they are earning comfortably in their house. Some are working in person and they are okay. We have students who could not boast of salary of 30,000, but they are like on salaries of 250,000, some 100K, some 200,000, some 150,000, some earning in dollar. But none of this happened without them taking action. So similar to you too. If you know everything you know and you don't take action, nothing will happen. Sadly, but that's just the truth. Nothing will happen. And there is nothing we can do about it. So again, I usually will say this. That person you envision to be like, the time to predict and create that future that they have created for themselves is now. The best way to predict the future that you want, you see, that beautiful future that you have painted for yourself, the best way to predict it is to create it. Nobody has a created future. Even those from very rich home, they still have things to do. Even when they hand them over inheritance, it's either they work and cultivate that inheritance or they squander it. Right? So it's either you cultivate your inheritance and multiply it, or you squander it and become poor. It's as simple as that. So if there is a future you feel like, I want to be in this future where I'm making this amount, where I'm earning this amount, you need to create it now. And the time to create it is now. Like the time to create it is now. Now, before I move into, we're going to be wrapping up soon. I'm going to stop sharing right now. I just usually spend like the end of my training trying to talk to like the mothers among us. And I usually will say mothers among us because it's not like I don't value fathers, or I don't see the effort father puts in. I see what our fathers do, but I understand that. See, I think there's this thing I feel like for every the success of every woman, for those of us that are married, is also like a pride to her husband. Now, the tiny line is, once you become a mother, sometimes you neglect yourself in the process. You neglect everything that has to do with you, and you begin to chase the dream of your children, and you forget your own dream. It's beautiful. Like, you're the one who has given these children life. So it's beautiful to chase their dream. But what about your own dream? What about the dream your parents invested in? To your parents, you're their child. To you right now, these are your own children. So there are people who are still dependent on you succeeding because you're their own dream. There is somebody who invested in sending you to school because you're their dream. Now, while we try to like chase our children's dream, chase your own too, so that you can eventually be an happy woman. I feel like that your children could call on you, that they could ask you that they want something and you're able to like swing around and get it for them is a big blessing that nobody can explain to you. That you can comfortably tell your children to dress up, mommy is taking everybody out, is a big blessing that nobody, whether you're a father or a mother, there are blessings that, there are things that when you give to your children because you can afford them, they hold on to it for life for you. So I'm going to just advise you like the way I usually do. Nothing is easy. Like life is not easy anywhere. And that being that, chase your dream, pursue your dream. I think in the course of our training, I've shared my personal struggles. I've encouraged us in my little way. I've motivated us. Don't feel like, oh, all of this motivation is gone because coach, the class has ended. No, I'm still very much among us, like very much among us. And I'm still very much there. That if you ever feel like, not constant disturbance, that you ever feel like, I think I need somebody to speak to. If you call on me when is a need, I will be there to answer. I might not be there to be babysitting you, chasing you to go and do what you're supposed to do because you're an adult. But if you ever feel like this has gotten to this point and I need to talk to somebody, I would always be there to listen. I'm not leaving anybody hanging or keep sharing opportunities in the main group as they come. The goal is for all of us to make money. The goal is for all of us to succeed, like get to that point where you want to live life in your own terms. So having said that, those of us who have people for the virtual assistant training, registration is already going. Officially, our next class will start April 7. It was supposed to start May 28, but after every cohort, this class is ending today. I need to also take like about 3 weeks to cool off my head. I've been shouting for the last couple of months. So I need to, this class started in February, right? And we are finishing it March 12. So I need to take out time to look after myself before I start another cohort. So having said that, if you have anybody who is interested in joining our next virtual assistant training, cohort 8, please send them my way. Please send them to us. I believe that you've gained value from this training, and you don't have to be emotional. In all honesty, this is not a goodbye of saying we're not going to meet again. Nope. It's a goodbye of saying that I am your friend and we are in this journey together. Like we are in this journey together. And I'm not saying it so that you feel like, no, I'm saying it because I know that we are in this together. And I'm not letting anybody, I would always be there unless you choose not to. You choose to leave, or you choose not to, you choose not to be part of us or what we are doing. But I would always be a coach that is present. And I gave you my word when we started that I'm in this with you till the very end. So I'm there to celebrate your successes. I'm there to share strategies on how you can win when we are building a community. So if you have anybody who you want to take either our content creation and our digital marketing training, the CV training, I'm going to share that in your group. The class hopefully will be next week. So for those who are interested in the CV training, it's strictly on Zoom. And if I tell you that you're going to walk out from that training having a working well CV, I'm not joking. You already should know my capability, and I'm not blowing trumpets around it. So if you feel you want to register for the CV training, it's going to be next week. I'm going to confirm either Saturday or Sunday, and I will let us know in the group today. Certificates will start going out either today or tomorrow. We're still working on getting everybody's certificates out. So if you've not paid for your certificates, please do that today, tomorrow, or whenever you can, and just indicate your cohort. And I look forward to, in all honesty, waking up and seeing you say, Coach, I've gotten my job, sharing it in the community, and having each and every one of us celebrate with you. That's like my biggest joy from all of this, right? So I love you all. Like when I say I love you, it's not coming from a point of I love my students, because I see myself in my students. So I love you all so much. I love you so much. I love how you love me. I love how you support me. I love how you're always there for me as my student, and how understanding each and every one of you is. So I pray that your job, before the end of this month, it will be running back to back offer letters for each and every one of you, especially those of us, because not everybody, it's not everybody that is ready to start applying for job. Job application marathon will also start, I think, next week. I will let us know in the group all of this other information. So just be on the lookout for all of them. I'll be dropping it on the main group. So I think, having said that, I would allow us at this moment. Goodbye is hard, but this is not that type of goodbye where you're like, the only thing here is no more classes and all of that, but we are still in this journey together. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I see all of your comments and I love you all. Take care of yourself, and I love you all, and I can't wait to see you all win, and have a great day. Bye bye.